Radio Morning Star présente les interviews backstage. Vous connaissez leur nom? Fredonnez leurs chansons. Sur Radio Morning Star, découvrez les artistes tels qu'ils sont, le sens de leurs chansons et celui qui a donné à leur vie une nouvelle dimension.
Ouvre les yeux de mon cœur, Père. Ouvre les yeux de mon cœur. Je désire te voir. Je désire te voir.
You are listening to Radio Morning Star, and we are backstage with a special guest today. He is a songwriter, singer, leading worship at Community Fellowship in Texas, but also in different churches all around the world. Paul Baloche, it's an honor to have you. Welcome to Paris and on Radio Morning Star.
Avec plaisir.
So, well, Paul, you're pretty well known all around the world because of your worship songs, but could you tell us a little bit more about you and your family background?
Oui. You know, my interest, of course, in France is my grandparents were born in Paris, in Montmartre. They were raised in an orphanage, and they married, and then they took the boat from Le Havre to Quebec, and then my father was born, and they moved to Philadelphia, and my father, Roger, a good French name, Roger Maurice, and my mom, ma mère, was Angèle Leblanc. So two French parents, and of course they were trying to learn English, so they did not teach us, their children, Français. But we grew up in Philadelphia, and now it's funny that my daughter, ma fille, she is studying in Aix-en-Provence, so Français is her major at university. So you know, that's part of the reason why I just have a heart for France and for French-speaking believers, and I'm learning, you know, to speak and sing more and more en Français, and so that I can, you know, be more effective at ministering to French-speaking world.
So you have been raised in a Christian home, but is there a defining moment you have experienced in your spiritual life?
Actually, yeah, I was raised in a Catholic home, you know, very sincere Catholic, very Jesus-centered Catholic. It was pretty unique. But, you know, so I learned a lot about God. I didn't really have a relationship necessarily, a personal relationship. I didn't really understand that. And then when I was 18, I met some people that talked about Jesus like he was real, you know? And I was like, wow. And so before you know it, I really heard the gospel, you know, like it made sense to me, and God just changed my life and my heart. And so ever since then, you know, I've just been trying to take prayers or the scriptures and put it into a song, and basically so that others can sing, you know, mostly at my church. I've been at my church in Texas for 22 years now. And so, yeah, I'm trying to, you know, serve in the local church and also go out when I can and minister, you know, around the world.
So what would you say to young people with maybe a Christian education, but maybe with difficulties to really connect with God and to God personally?
Yeah. I think a lot of times we can know things about God in our head, you know, in our mind, and there is a difference. I want to encourage anyone listening that there's a difference between knowing about God in your head and having a relationship with Him in your heart. And I would say, you know, if you're by yourself, just begin to ask God, you know, every day, Lord, if you're real, would you show yourself to me? One of the songs I wrote years ago is a simple prayer, en français, Ouvre les yeux de mon cœur. You know, and so that's a prayer you could say, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you, you know. And also, just don't give up. There's too many people I've met, thousands of people that have had experiences with Jesus. It's real. So the other thing I would say to a young person is find find some people that are your age that they talk about Jesus. They go to worship churches where they worship and they sing songs, and go and be curious, be interested, and be open-minded to a relationship with God.
Oh, je désire te voir. Oh, je désire te voir.